Before playing at the Stadio Sant'Elia, Cagliari had two former home grounds. The one before they moved to this stadium was called the Amsicave, and that was becoming a bit dilapidated. So in 1964, there was a plan put in process to build a new ground, and it took roughly about 5 years for the stadium to be completed. The construction of the ground cost 1.9 billion lira at the time, and the initial capacity was a lot less than what was eventually built. This was due to the fact that a year before Cagliari moved into their new ground, they actually won the Serie A title for the first and only time, and the initial capacity was around about 30,000, but this was expanded to seat about 59,000 spectators. The first ever match to be played at the Sant'Elia was an Italian Cup game on the 12th of September 1970 between Cagliari and Mesesi. Cagliari won the match 4-1 in front of 30,000 spectators. Just 4 days after this, on the 16th of September, the stadium saw Cagliari defeat French side Saint-Etienne 3-0 in front of 63,000 spectators in a match which was in the round of 32 of the 1970-1971 European Cup. The first ever Serie A match to be played at the ground was between Cagliari and Sampdoria, with Cagliari winning the match 2-1. Just 2 months after the stadium was opened, it had to be briefly closed because there was an old oil pipeline that ran underneath the stadium, and apparently that leaked and caused a bit of damage around the stadium and on the ground. So they had to fix that, and they were ordered that they could not play there until this was resolved. The stadium was chosen as one of the venues for the 1990 FIFA World Cup, and works began in 1987 to modernise the structure. This cost around 24 billion lira, and it reduced the capacity to 40,919 seats. The stadium saw 3 World Cup matches which all featured England, and this was in the group stage. They played against the Republic of Ireland, the Netherlands and Egypt. Although it was denied by local and FIFA organisers, it was widely rumoured that the stadium had been chosen for all of England's group matches as a way to control their reputation at the time for hooliganism. Before the 2002-2003 season, the capacity of the ground was reduced further after the club was relegated to Serie B. Over the athletics track, a new stand was built behind the goal so as to reduce the distance between the terrace and the playing field, with the central terraces remaining intact. The new format of the stadium, which almost halved its maximum capacity to 23,486 seats, come under criticism by supporters. It was around this time that the Cagliari president had plans to build a new stadium for the team to play in. However, the council and the mayor at the time refused to give consent to the project to go ahead. In 2007, Cagliari drew up plans for their new stadium, which was expected to seat 25,000 spectators, with Cagliari declaring that they would pay for the entire costs of the stadium. Due to disagreements with the new local administration and growing safety concerns around the Stadio Sant'Elia, as it had several safety problems and concerns, Cagliari left the stadium in the final weeks of the 2011-2012 Serie A season to play the remaining few home matches of that campaign at the Stadio Nereo Rocco in Trieste. What made the move to the Stadio Nereo Rocco even more bizarre is this ground was located around 667 miles away from Sardinia, so it was almost impossible for Cagliari supporters to travel there week in, week out. For the following season, Cagliari played at 2 grounds located on Sardinia. However, they cancelled their contract with one of the stadiums in April 2013 after they had safety issues and they had arguments with the local authorities all season. It was eventually decided that Cagliari would play the remainder of their matches that year behind closed doors. On the 19th of October 2013, it was announced that Cagliari would return to the Stadio Sant'Elia. On the 1st of August 2014, after a deal with the local council, the new Cagliari president announced that the Stadio Sant'Elia would be expanded to hold at least 11,650 fans for the following year. The goal was to reach a capacity of 16,000 by the 21st of December 2014. In October 2014, there was further permission granted to build a new stand which would seat 4,000 people, and that was ready by the end of October. In December 2015, Cagliari proposed another new stadium. This time the capacity would be 21,000 seats and it would feature a few shops and a couple of restaurants around the ground. The project was finally approved by the local council and the region in 2017, and work was meant to start with the ground being completed in 2021. In 2017, Cagliari left the Stadio Sant'Elia and began playing at the temporarily built Sardinia Arena, which was also known as the Unipol Domus. This ground, believe it or not, was built in 127 days and has a capacity of around 11,000 seats. This structure was only meant to be temporary for a couple of years while the new Stadio Sant'Elia replacement was being built. However, due to financial problems, arguments amongst the club with the local council, and the fact that the club has been playing in the second division for a couple of years until their promotion last year, the Stadio Sant'Elia has remained abandoned. And I've seen several videos myself of people going inside the abandoned stadium, looking around. The ground is completely abandoned, it's fallen to pieces, and it just remains sat there while they play 200 yards across the road at the Unipol Domus, which was only meant to be a temporary structure. In July 2022, Cagliari presented the final project of their new ground by the municipality of Cagliari. The completion date is aimed to be the start of the 2025-2026 season. On the 21st of December 2022, the completion of the project was estimated to cost 157 million euros. The Regional Council of Sardinia has offered to provide 50 million euros in funding. And this is a picture of what the new ground is meant to look like inside. This one will be built over the top of the Stadio Sant'Elia, and this is what it's meant to look like from the outside. Will it ever get built? Who knows, but with the way things have been going over the last decade, I doubt it at this stage. So that is my video on the Stadio Sant'Elia, the former home ground of Cagliari from 1970 to 2017. It's a very strange story with this ground, how they've had to move out a couple of times due to safety concerns, and the fact that they build temporary stands in front of the current stands, and there's all kinds of problems going on with that ground, and they ended up abandoning it, and now they play 200 yards to the left of it in a temporary structure that was only meant to be there for 3 years, and now it looks like they're going to be there for at least the next 5 or 6 years while this new ground is supposed to be being built. But will it be built? I doubt it. But if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your memories of the Stadio Sant'Elia. Of course, for us England supporters, it's fond memories of the ground, especially at Italia 90. We had such a good tournament there and we played 3 matches there. So if you went to this ground during Italia 90, let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, this has been History of Football, and I'll catch us all later in the next video. Alright, ta-ra for now.